Well, welcome back, and this will be my first machining video. My name's Alec Jolly. I'm Job Shop Machining, and I just had a customer who has a 50-ton turret Scotchman iron worker bring me his punch ram that he wants to prototype with. He wants me to remanufacture this punch ram and add a 1/2 inch to the distance. I don't really know the application, but I said sure, I'll give it a go. Should make a pretty good video, and I've got this 4140 cut, and we'll head over to the lathe and get rolling on this and see if we can make a successful part for him. Alright, so let's get going. I'm going to start off by getting my bar stock up in there and center drilled, turn my OD, get that finished. I've got an 1 3/4 bar stock, so I just got to take a little bit off of it to bring it down to 1 5/8, and then an 1 5/16 by 14 thread to put in to a flat bottom bore, 1 1/2 deep, and that should do it for the lathe work, and then we'll head over to the mill. But yeah, let's get the material in there and get running. Also, I have immediately found out that before you start recording, you want to set everything up. I'm very job shop, you know. Hopefully that camera. Oh yeah, it looks like my mine's moving away. I might just cut that out for the time being. Or actually, see if I can go adjust my tripod really quick. But I'll go ahead and get the center in there. It ain't nothing crazy to do. Where am I at? Okay, that's it. We're good to start turning. I'll go ahead and mic this just to bounce off my print, see if it's right. Yep, it's right on the money of 1 5/8. I'm gonna need about 5 inches sticking out. Give me enough to turn. Five and a quarter, close enough. Now, since I only have a 1/16 to take off the side, I'm going to go ahead and start off with a skim cut and see where my tailstock's at. 9 times out of 10, this tailstock tapers because you can never lock it consistently and it's always just moving out. know if you can see that. Right on the money. Now I'll hit it with Scotch-Brite afterwards, but now it's time to go ahead and get it drilled out and put some threads on the ID. Tap drill size for 1 5/16 by 14 is going to be 1 15/64. And I'll go ahead and spade drill that out to 1 1/32. Looks like I have to take out that tool. Come up to right till I'm good and flush on my spade. Pop this tool out. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to come up my tool holder, I'm going to touch, bottom that out, zero my Z, move in, probably do a 1/16 under, so move in 1 7/16. There's my drill stop. Lock down the carriage and we're ready to go. Go ahead and get that faced off. Establish a zero. Go ahead. Nice. Got 2 inches already to stick out on my boring bar. Go ahead and touch off. Now I'm going to get that bottom roughed out first before I start digging into it. Man, I really hope that camera's, I don't think that camera's focused. Let me reset real quick. All right, I think that might help. Not only am I learning how to do YouTube, I got to learn how to use a camera, it seems like. Okay, so we're good. Ready to start threading. Hopefully I believe that threading tool is going to work. We don't really have a large selection of ID threading tools on small IDs. So go ahead and get this geared for a 14 TPI, which looks like C7. I'm going to go ahead and cut all the bezels first. Touched. And one thing I always do when I thread, I understand with a carbide insert you can directly plunge, but I feed off the compound so I can always keep my zero at the same place on the cross slide. And since I'm threading the ID, I like it over in the, what is this, 7 o'clock position, because when I disengage my half, I'll show you, I'll do a dry run real quick. Go ahead and engage that. I like to be able to pop out. They're all the same. I'm coming up. Versus like if I'm doing an OD, I have it over here. So when I'm getting out, I'm keeping the same motion. Especially when you're like coming up to a shoulder, it can get pretty nerve-wracking, and it just makes it more fluid. Versus if I'm feeding in, but say, you know, I'm working all the way over, and then say my cross slide handle, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, ends up over here, and I got to get out really quick. It's, you know, it gets awkward. So hopefully you can see that. Shouldn't take too long to thread. It's a good little pitch. Go back to 0. We'll check it after this. I think we're gonna get lucky. Perfect. Just right. I mean, virtually no play. So now all I gotta do is there's a step in there. Let me mic, see what that's at, bore it, and then groove it to relieve those threads so it can bottom out. And then it's got a little angle in there. All right, so we're over at the Acer 6VK. Let's see if I can see this. I lost a good chunk of video over there, I think, when I was doing that, but I just didn't catch it in time. Here's how that came out. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not. That's the idea of it. All I have left to do now is do my slot for a guide and then finish my head. Alright, so there you have it. Hopefully I didn't lose too much footage. I really struggled with the camera. I definitely need to attack this with a better game plan and have everything set up ready to run. I guess that's part of learning how to do it. And if you get to this part, that means I was able to save it editing, but I know I lost a lot of footage. But here's how the piece came out. The punch ram, 1/2 inch longer, and then there's the bore. I might record that on my phone to where you can go and see the bevel. This hole will be for a hardened pin, and that just dogs if you're using a shaped punch to hold it in place, keep it from twisting and turning. That's all that is. And then one thing will be really exciting about getting a CNC is it wasn't cost effective for me to do that radius on a rotary table. Not for me, but for him. And it just wouldn't be fair. So when we can have a CNC and we can easily put on a radius without it being such a hassle, that'll be really nice and a benefit to the customer. See, I just grinded that in with a DeWalt, but came out pretty good. This is a prototype, so he's going to have to see if it works, which hopefully it does. So, see, how's that even? You know, it's just like what you see on your iron workers. It's just a little bit longer. It's going to a turret iron worker. But like I said, I really don't know the application. But that's it. That is job shop machining right there. So I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm going to edit this and hopefully I can save it, and this just wasn't a huge waste of time. If I can't, I'm just going to end up deleting it. So anyways, we'll catch you next time.